Hey, good morning, everybody. Uh, just gonna come out for a little while. I don't know why it's so hard to find somebody legit and real on these sites, but yet, you know, people with no picture or at least something in the form of a doll or something will sit there and just one like will text my wife for days on end every time she gets on or ain't on or whatever. But you can't find one legit person to come out, have a picture, have everything filled out, uh, know where they're from, whether they're married or not. And I try, like I said, I try for my wife. Me and my wife try to find some. These people seem like they never get on. They never, ones that we pick out, never seem to get on, or they just don't take their stuff serious. And that's unfortunate. Like I say, I hope for me and my wife to find something, but unfortunately, we all we can find is somebody always got something, too much stuff going on, trying to censor themselves. I don't hurt their little feelings, but I just noticing a pattern that people either like last night, me and my wife was up. And this man from the military came out. And I've seen him before, actually, after I thought about it, and my wife said, that's that same one that's on my Facebook. I think he had reached out as some 6-year-old man or something. At first, I was going to be nice to him, like I said last night, I was going to be nice. But, he kind of got a little uncomfortable. Of course, I didn't do anything. I just blocked him, I didn't, uh, but, uh, but yeah, it's weird. Like you can get people that's not even got real names, or at least names you can't pronounce. And first and last, a lot of times. But you can't find somebody, on there that's got reasonable pictures, reasonable, everything filled out, what they like, what they don't like, everything. I told my wife, me and her had this talk all the time. I said, man, it wouldn't take 5 minutes to do that stuff. It's not that hard. Y'all make something simple hard. That's what most of you's problem is. And it just seems to me that the further we get away from when I last was on it and had a little success with some things, not Facebook, Twitter, and all that, but Moco Space, which was a lesser known site. But since then, nobody really, everybody I heard that just yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, wife comes in. I think it's the same one that's come out before. One of them runs her runs her lips and talks her talk, says all that stuff. And, my wife's just walking down the road, minding her own business, and she comes out. She says, "Oh, I got in this, I got in that." And, uh, I'm basically whoever she got with was in kind of hard to get along with and kind of being mean to her and all this stuff. So my wife, she asked my wife, so is this deal still on? And did I see her down here? No. You know what? It might as well be. It might as well be a ghost. Because if I don't see it, it doesn't count. The way I look at it. I hate people behind screens. I hate people behind phones. I hate that. I mean, I hate the way this more modern stuff. You know, it's bad, and you get somebody comes out, and you know, my wife tells me about it. I know she ain't lying, but you know, it's one of them things. You know, if you want something, you got to come get it. That's pretty bad when you got somebody in your own, you know, your own area that won't even. It wouldn't take me what a few minutes. I mean, I may not be the fastest runner, but it would take me about 20 minutes to walk, probably at least from there. If not, maybe a little longer, but it's not like we live, you know, out in the boondocks somewhere. And this woman supposedly has a car, so again, like I said, you just take whatever, you know, however you want to take it. But, you know, we're not messing around and you know, but everybody that comes out the door it is having a ball with it, you know. And I believe in giving people chances, but if it's the same person that's done this once or twice, you know, I'd quit talking to them. You know, if it for me, if somebody screwed me over once, you know, the next time they ain't gonna be no talking. I'm just gonna keep on trucking because, well, we're serious and our offer is what it is. And no, we don't have to have the most money or you know, out there trying to work. But you know, it's hard as it is for us as handicapped people get out there and reach out. And I understand that most people may not view video. That's you know, we had a guy like I said last night just out of nowhere, and I'd recognized him after she said something. But you know, we're not looking for reborn doll friends. We're not looking for uh, people without pictures to be sitting on there and talking and texting. You know, I even told my wife just a while ago. I said, you know, these people ain't got no guts to get on camera, video chat, and actually let you see what they're doing. But yet they can sit there and do a take and do a sit there all day on Messenger and go back and forth. I want to see some action. I want to see something, you know. I want that one person, whoever she is out there. Come on, let's not play with this anymore. You know, there's somebody out there that likes both men and women, and you like a man woman couple. Come on, you know, enough of the games. It's you know, I know 90 something% of the people on Facebook play around and goof. Me and my wife's not goofing around. Me and my wife's serious. I know a lot of these places, like them Hiwassee places and stuff, they suggested this crap to my wife. Well, you know, we've off and on for the last almost 10 years have seen all the reasons why you shouldn't take this stuff so seriously and why you shouldn't be, you know, on one of these things because it is a double-edged sword. A lot of times, bad always find you. The ones that have the 2 or 3, 4,000, 5,000 friends are just adding people ridiculous. They don't talk. There's no way. They're just on there because they have a certain feature or something they want somebody to see on their own body or something that makes them stand out. So naturally, if they, a lot of the men out there and a lot of the guys send these requests, and that's exactly what's going on. But just also wanted to say we've had some snow out here. It's not, nothing unusual. Uh, it snowed a little bit last night out here in Decatur, Tennessee, but yeah, it's not enough to hurt nothing. Probably about 2 inches, if that. It'll melt by probably tomorrow or the next day. But it's enough to. If there was any school, it would have been enough to call it off. Well, just the threat of snow would call the school off. Yeah, and that's why usually I'll only get on my wife's just to look, see if there's somebody that's serious, see if there's somebody on there that come on and would actually do something legitimate. But my wife was trying to go in there and look at the dolls, hopefully find somebody that had this, reborn doll stuff in common. I get it, but those are the people that seem to get on there with no pictures and they don't have anything. She tried to pass this one woman off as if she's 36. She looked like she's almost 56. She didn't look 36. I don't know. Just the way she looked, I don't know. She looked older than what she said she was to me. And, I don't know. But she did have one picture, but I mean, it was hidden. But they always choose. That's what I'm saying. And I know people get upset and they get mad. But I'm not, like I said, I make sure I don't cuss you and give you a verbal thrashing the way I normally would have. But I'm going to be calmer and just get to my points. I know it may still upset you, but, we're not here to, toot about wanting 100, 200 friends, texting, calling us on the phone, and all this stuff. If you got too much stuff going on, if you got boyfriends and exes up your butt, and you got kids up your butt and everything else that's going on, and you are in that kind of stuff, then my wife ain't gonna be able to be done. Because I don't want to be lied to. I don't like being lied to, and I don't like, having known that the one chance that we thought we had was ruined. There's somebody out here. Oh, was that?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, she didn't like what I say, does she?
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, it's true. And I ain't trying to hurt, but you couldn't even pronounce this person's name. My wife, and I'm like, it could be anybody. It could be an 80-year-old woman, 90-year-old woman. We don't know. She said she's 36. She, like I said, the picture that I saw, she almost looks like she's in her 50s. My wife and I are sitting here with our faces is just, our mouths wide open. I just don't trust anybody that can't put a picture up. It needs to be a rule that we need to have. You know, if you can't put a picture, you send us a friend request on my wife's Facebook, and you don't have a legit picture of yourself, either on your background or on your small picture, then, and we also look for other things. We also look for if the profile is complete, if you filled everything out, and all that. But we need to, that's the only way that, I've never tried it with Facebook. Like I said, my successes were on lesser known sites. So I'm not guaranteeing that even with my advanced, what I look for type thing is going to work on, this more modern stuff. So I just want to throw that out there. But now, if you're some lady out there and you just happen to run across a video of ours, mine and my wife, we're out here in Decatur, Tennessee. Uh, our unicorn thing's still on, just so that if you're in your 20s to 30s and you're, like I said, not got no drama going on, and me and my wife's not going to have to worry about 50 people that you're hanging out and doing things with all the time. I mean, if you got all that going on, we don't want you, because if that's more important than us being around you, then we just would rather you go on, because we can't promise you. It's not to be mean, but we can't promise you that we're going to like them like you do. And if that's such a thing for you that you can't wait, and let me and my wife have time with you and get to know you first. If you can't do that and then wait till an appropriate time, and maybe a month down the road or whatever, or if they just come by, we could say hi or whatever, and do it like that for a little bit. Let them get warmed up. You don't have to go out there and tell them, "Oh, look what new toy I just found," or "What new toy I just bought at the store," or whatever. Can't anybody just keep these things a surprise? You don't have to tell them. Most definitely, most of the time they won't like it anyway. That's why the one we had up here last year, I was against her telling all these people up here at these big apartments up here, because I knew it probably about what would happen, and it happened the way I drew it up in my own head. I was like, yeah, that's a bad move. Like I said, they don't like what I call their apartments up there. They stay hidden in there, and they know better than to come out and start this whole girlfriend clique stuff. My wife out there, they got kids and they got laundry and all this other bull to do, and they got marriages and jobs and stuff that ought to come before anything else. If you've already got all that going on, you can't fit yourself, can't see yourself fitting in with us the way we'd like for you to. And like my wife and I both have said, it's not about bossing you around. You know right from wrong. We shouldn't have to tell you. If you want things to go good and go right, everything will be fine. But the minute you back talk one of us, if you were to act up, that's what gets us mad. And, at the age I'm at, and my wife's age, she's a little bit younger than me, we ain't got time to fool around. So if there was somebody on here that wants us offer, we're going to give you till I turn 40. That's what we agreed to.
Yeah.
So if you ain't up, one of you ain't found this video by then or one of our nice videos, and you don't come out, it's gonna be up to y'all. It's y'all's fault, you know. We had something come out in 2018, and you know, since then we hadn't had nobody do anything, and they fell for some type of ad on Facebook, and I was very angry, very upset, because I understood why the person did what she did, but I don't fall for stuff like that. I'd rather go out in my local community somewhere where I lived, go out there and see if I can find me a job. If I was trying to help somebody out, I'd rather earn my money in my local area. Try my local area first. If all else fails, then yeah, maybe I'll leap out there. Maybe I'll try something I don't normally try. But I'd check my local area first, check newspapers, check anything in my local area. I understand that, you know, like I said, this person had a bestie. She was sick, needed treatments for what she went to the hospital for. She didn't get them. She ended up passing away. And like I said, people on them ads, I don't usually see the ads much. You know, at least I don't. But it don't mean they're not out there. But you know, we've been through, you know, one person before, and some people, you know, that may see this video may say, "Well, I had success with it." Well, good for you if you did. Be lucky somebody kept their word and they didn't play you. But for all of us who have experienced it and who have lost money or have had, you know, you shouldn't give us a hard time either. Because more times than not, somebody out there, and I get it, gas is going up. Well, that's why nobody, if you're not in Athens or you're not somewhere nearby, if you're not in Decatur, just like I illustrated earlier, I've had one of them do it yesterday.
Mhm.
They're not interested in nothing. If it's the same person, next time I just go on, you know. Just don't do anything with it. Because all they want is 5 minutes. If somebody was interested in our offer, they'd come out, you know, and they would be where we both could see them. I was just out with my wife the other day over at Walmart, and it was tons of people. But you know, and we sat down and we ate, and my wife had pizza and an icy Coke icy. So I mean, we were in there for a good little while. You know, nobody came up to us then. I've been the last several times I'd been down here before the pig got shut down, of course. um, but several months in a row, I've been up here in Decatur, but you know, it's going in there. It's always dead as a doornail in there. But you know, the only time that my wife seems to tell me anything's y'all looking out your window, coming out your door. It's the same. If it's the same person, well, Derek, what if it's a different person? Well, if it's a different person that you never met before, yeah, I always would give them at least one chance because you never know. I mean, it might be legit. But if it's the same person you've offered it to before, you know the drill. You know, I'm just saying, I speak from experience. Somebody's played you once, they're going to play you again. You know, so what if they get beat up by their boyfriend? So what if they got troubles? We got our own troubles. You know, we don't need other people's exes and or possibility of them getting back together kind of things in our what we're offering is not for those type of people. Well, Derek, what if a woman was getting beat up on the side of the road? Would you go help her? Yeah, well, I really don't know because, like I said, women have made a mission. For some reason, there's not enough of me to go around. Not all women, but most of you. Because, like I said, there's probably a few smart ones out there. But most of you have made it a mission to have sex or to venture out there at a young age, so young, in your teens or whatever. The first person comes up to you, you start something, and then you wait till somebody like me or my wife comes out, and you say, you tell us all these troubles. Well, had you kept your, your legs shut, your mouth shut, you would learn that work. If you're at school, if you're in your teens and you're at school, like I was, I did my work. I had a place to stay. I had a place I could call home. I didn't need nothing. Didn't go to proms. I didn't even want a class ring. I got one, but I didn't really want one. People like, well, you'll regret it later, Derek, if you don't. Regret what? I know my wife didn't see me give it away, but the first chance I had, the first person that I met off the internet, I gave it away. And the brother wanted some clothes to wear or something to wear, so I said, well, here, I got this. I got the thing I had to wear for class night and graduation day. I wore it twice. I gave him it was basically a corporate suit, as as I prefer to call it. Basically, you have to wear that's what they have you wear when you go into class night and your graduation. But yeah, like I said, if there was anybody out here within 5 minutes or less of here, if they're in one of these houses, I've put out there, me and my wife have many times. And if there was anybody serious, like I said, the less on the plate, the better. Because it would help me and it would help my wife. We don't play and goof like most people these days do. I know how a lot of the people were raised in the generation. Oh yeah, this is acceptable, Derek. This is what's acceptable. You be friends with everybody and you put up with all the small stuff and basically let that do you. That's best. Friendship's always the best. Well, I'm telling you from my experiences, it is not. A lot of people may disagree. That's the reason why everybody's not the same. I've tried it. I've been there. I've always been shoved to the side. My wife's been shoved to the side for other people's freaking family. Or if one of them just calls up and says, hey, I need to borrow your car. Oh my God, it's my sister. It's my brother or whoever. And I'm not saying family ain't important, but if you are that easy to legitimately give up your stuff, well, wouldn't you, Derek? Depends. It depends on the situation, who it is, and how I got along with them. If I liked them that much that I'd give up everything for them, I'd at least be nice enough to not leave the person I promised to go out in the cold. If I promised them something, I would make sure they knew, hey, yeah, this is legitimate, I'd send proof. I would make sure that, they could trust me. But the few times we've had people offer stuff, whether it be rides to church, rides to the store, not talking about Hazel, but I'm talking about other people who we didn't know, have not ever really seen them before, just out here doing it as a habit, you know. And we stopped that. Um, but no, it's just not right, you know. I mean, like I told my wife, if the weather's not permitting and it's raining outside, or just like now, it's snow on the ground, which she doesn't usually get out in that. But if the weather's not permittable or it's too windy and she feels like she's going to fall, for one time, I would, hope to see somebody want to give me a ride the rest of the way. But otherwise, no. I mean, because she doesn't, you know, it don't need to be like we're trying to get attention. It don't need to be that way, and then y'all feel the need to just do that. I wasn't raised to be around a whole lot of people. My mama and my daddy kept, what few neighbors we had. I don't think I've ever met many of the neighbors that we were around. Usually where we were at, yeah, we had, when I lived over in McDonald, Tennessee, I had one that had a trailer next door to us. I remember the biggest thing about that was my mom and them ended up getting into a fight with them one day. We were sitting in the car, and my dad and my mother put a pop knot on. He had the guy and she had the lady. I don't know who the lady was or the guy, but they threw a bucket at our car. I don't think there was anything in it, but if it was, it's just water or something. And I heard it hit the car. And my dad and them jumped out. Next thing you know, and no cops were called. They was too scared to call the cops because they would have been at fault as they started it. But my dad and them, ain't well, hardly anybody is, trained in martial arts and stuff. It's one thing you didn't want to do was sit there and brawl. I never seen my dad have to punch somebody or get physical, but that one time, and he was doing what he had to do, not only really to protect us. I mean, at the end of the day, we were kids then. I was the oldest. I could have probably got out there. Knowing me, I'd be. I know at schools and stuff, these kids pick on you, and you're not raised right, and you're always taught to be nice. Well, I preach the other way around. You never usually can be nice. Most time you end up having to be mean to people because not many people is going to care if you leave this world. You're only going to have a select few if you're lucky. It does care about you. And if you are the only one to be born and you have a good mom and dad that care about you over anything else and you're that loved, you better be lucky. All I got to tell you. There's somebody out there that knows that feeling. You better be lucky that you got to be that one person that they adore so much that they, no matter how old they get, they never change. That wasn't so with my people or my wife. I met them, they're the same way. They don't care. They just, you know. But anyway, I just gonna come out. I'm gonna say a little something and talk about stuff that kind of happened a little bit last night. Went a little long, but
Just one since you were friends with on Twitter.
Well, I
My
don't.
name's ALUSHANEWAN. She just done picked and said she sent you one.
Probably another.
No, she's not a dog one. honey.
Probably another one of these that'll just die down as they get talked to. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get off here and see how the rest of our day goes.